Alright, we'll waste no more time. We'll get straight into this second map. It will be DE Inferno between Team EvilGeniuses from the United States of America going up against MTW from Denmark for a place in the semi-finals. It's also worth talking about how these two will advance through to the next round and who they might end up playing. And one of those teams that might end up playing, should they get to the final, will be Frag Executors, who won against SK in 3 maps. They won 19-15 in overtime on Dust 2. So Frag Executors, the former winners, of course, double winners, they're through to yet another quarterfinal at the WCG Grand Finals as well.
Definitely on a quest to become the first 3-time winners of the tournament for Counter-Strike.
Absolutely, there's never been one before. And is 2010 the year we crown a triple champion? We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, let's get back to the quarterfinals. It's EG. The slate is wiped clean, and they now have a chance to get themselves back into the match by winning on Inferno. And Jonas, chances?
I don't think they're standing in much of a chance here against MTW. They're famous for their CT side on the Inferno. They've been very, very strong in the past. And to add insult to injury, I think that it's going to be hard for EG to play now, because Inferno really relies a lot on strat calling in the middle of the round. With Lurpis not playing, and he said that this is a problem earlier on in the tournament. They don't have anybody to call strats in the middle of the rounds. So I foresee a straightforward victory here for MTW.
Well, we'll see if Jonas is right. We're 55 seconds away from the end of this round. We haven't really seen a great deal of exchange of shots, and now D-Bon just trying his luck at the top of Banana and landed a little bit on minute. In fact, just 17 points of house, so a little bit of a wall bang, and that was about it. Now, meanwhile, they've split themselves because Tubby is making a nuisance of himself over at the far side. They've made the call, but it wasn't that call for that netted site. It was for the open site. Frod has picked himself up the first kill on entry. They've got the bomb planted here, so now objective number 1 complete. Now they've got to try and hold this site. MTW making their way back in, as you'd expect. 3 down one side, 1 down the other side. Guns start blazing. D-Bomb picks up the first. AV Sunder and Trace pick up 3 between them. Tubby, last man standing, won't be standing for much longer with 38 health points. And wow, shot! Brilliant shot on Sunder, but he couldn't stand up long enough. AV with the final kill of the round. And great take back of the site by MTW. Very, very aggressive, very positive. Knew exactly where the players were going to be. Nailed it first time.
Definitely a great retake there by MTW, and I was also impressed by the way EG made their way into the site. They did a double fake there, actually. They faked the banana first, then went back to halts, or they had someone in halts to fake that area.
They had Tubby, yep.
And then they caught MTW on the rotation, but it didn't matter because of that retake. World-class retake by MTW.
So, great play by both teams for different reasons. But in the end, MTW come up trumps with yet another pistol round in the bag. And in theory, should be able to convert for a second and hopefully a third as far as the Danish fans here are concerned. Storm now back in hallways with 45 health. They've got every man with a Deagle and Frod with a Galil. Now, interesting little strat. They had a little bit more money from the last round having planted. And Sonic now will wait and pick up 2 big headshots with a FAMAS. And they've got 3. Can they get 4? No. Frog with that Galil blasts into that open bomb site. It won't make any difference. Slightly little risky strat there from EG. Won't matter too much. Deagles and Galil.
Yeah,
your choice of strats or not?
Yeah, they took a chance there and just bought out with everything they had. Sometimes that can work for you, but that usually works only when you're sort of confident, when your flow is good in the game, and it really hasn't been for EG. So I question that strat in that round. That was very risky.
2-0, or as they say over here, 2-zip in favour of the Danish. And Trace opening things up with the HE on Storm. And damaged quite a few of the players down there as well. Nothing, Tubby and Frog both taking some damage from that. And this should be easy pickings for Trace. He's got 1, 2, 3 in a row from Trace. Headshot City. Sit down EG. MTW are 3-0 up.
It was a straightforward Glock round there on the part of EG, which they were forced into because they bought in the second round. They're back on AKs now, though. Let's see if they can make this one count. So far, they have favored going through the banana and into the smaller site.
Well, looking at the overlay on your screen, you can see they've not really got any kind of split just yet. They've got a couple up second mid. One in mid is Fraud, and two just holding back on T-Ramp right now. So they're going to try and split this one 3 versus 2, it would seem, with Fraud holding bomb in mid and now makes his way towards Banana. So is that going to be the first push they're going to make? Well, it might be, but it's not going to work because Minute has already picked himself up too with that Galil. Did he steal that one off Fraud last round? I think he might well have done, and that's probably because he's going to pick up the AWP next round. So, yeah, it's all working out rather well for them. Trace picks up the third of the round. Fraud's down to 14 health here, although does have an AK, and is going to need that AK because it's 5 versus 1, thanks to Trace's second of the round. And nothing working for EG at all here. They are going to need a moment of brilliance from one single man. They're not going to get it. AV with the 5th and final kill of the round. They didn't even lose a man that round.
Minute and Sunday really showed everybody how important teamwork is in Counter-Strike. What they did there was Minute had taken up an aggressive position in the banana while Sunday was just baiting for EG players to start spamming. He threw a flash over the wall. Both of them were blind, and then Minute could just plow him down with that Galil.
So, round 5, and still a little bit of a struggle for money. They're in a little bit of financial services problems here. Got a bit of a recession on with the guns as far as EG are concerned. And Deagle's amongst them only. Trying to make their way off balcony here. They have managed to get through hallways. A Minute is going to be able to fill his boots here. Is he? AV is as well. Wow, Deborn got the revenge frag. Minute with a double at the end. And it's all very straightforward. They could almost be German. It's that efficient.
Another display of team play there as Minute came in off his rotation very quickly to be able to shut down
I want to see something
Deborn.
from EG though. I want to see something. I haven't seen anything yet.
No, and we talked about it earlier as well. They're playing with essentially what is 2 stand-in players. Deborn obviously a full member.
But that's an excuse. I don't want to hear that. This is the WCG, the quarterfinals. You want to see the best play. I haven't seen it even from the 3 that are used to playing with each other. I haven't seen anyone step up yet, and I'm kind of expecting something to happen any moment now, and it just hasn't yet.
Well,
is that unreasonable?
I think so, actually, because it's very, very hard to play at this level when you're not playing with your starting 5, obviously.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I just think
it's not an excuse, it's more of an explanation.
Absolutely. I would just like to see a bit more passion. There just doesn't seem to be the same passion you expect from them. And, well, we're not seeing it this round either. Well, I'll say that. Tubby and Deborn have picked up a frag apiece. And we're at 3 versus 3. Nothing at Tubby, though, don't have any health left. Virtually nothing. In fact, Tubby has absolutely nothing.
Zip.
Indeed he does. And Sunder and Trace pick up the last 2 straightforwardly. What's that, 6-0 now? 7-0? I've lost count.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
6-0, I think.
Crazy.
But I do agree with you, though. It would be very, very nice for the fans here to see an American team do well. But it's very hard to play, like we said, at this level without your starting 5. Obviously, EG came off a strong tournament win in China just a month ago. But it's hard to play against former champions like this. And,
just picking up on something that Zonic was talking to me about before the game. He said WCG had given them a little bit of grief about the fact that they kind of didn't play maybe with their full strats against the Belarusians in the group stage.
Oh, really?
Which actually allowed them to advance in the upper side of the bracket, which in theory, well, not in theory, absolutely is the easier side of the bracket, which inevitably meant they played EG, a weaker EG, in a quarterfinals, which I don't know. Maybe I don't know how you feel about that. I think it's fine as Denmark just roll through EG for another round. We'll just ignore what's going on in the game. But Sonic was vehement about it. He said, look, it's exactly what happens in other sports. Man United don't go out and put their best team, their best strategies out there when they're playing Huddersfield. They don't do that. They all wait until they're playing Barcelona before they put that stuff on the line. And it's no different for MTW. They want to show some of the stuff they've been working on early in the tournament. And therefore, yeah, if they lose and they end up in a different side of the draw, so be it. Did they actually plan it that way? Yeah, absolutely. They're not going to hide that. Did they throw a game? No, they didn't throw a game. I'm with MTW on it, but I see both sides. I think it's very difficult. My point, I think, is that actually WCG really should have spent more time on the pool seeding, and then we wouldn't have had this issue, because then what you do is you have proper pools, proper seeds, and a balance of the grid is kind of restored. You will always get some imbalance because of the way the results pan out, but you then won't get that scenario where a team has to choose to win or lose a game to end up in the right part of the draw as far as they're concerned. So I think, there's a bit of both on both sides as far as that's concerned.
Well, I certainly agree with the way MTW and Zoni call that. As a former pro player, you know that you want to win at all costs.
Yeah.
The point I don't understand is why would they even say that they didn't use their strats? To me, that's just walking into a PR nightmare, and so they sort of brought this situation on themselves with WCG not liking the way they played that match.
But at the same time, you agree that we really should have better seeded pools.
I agree, and
look at Group A this year.
I agree, and I disagree because the WCG is so different from any other tournament.
But that doesn't make it right.
I sort of like it the way.
Hey, I'm with you on the whole single elimination World Cup style knockout stuff.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's what I like about it.
But I think we should still have seeded. But even the World Cup in football has seeded pools at the start for single elimination. I think it's more important for single elimination. So there we go. Anyway, let's get back to the action. Sunder is ripping things up. He's got 2. They're not going to get the defuse this round though, and EG are going to get themselves on the board. The crowd aren't even clapping.
No, you can see here, Fraud doesn't really look very happy at the moment, as he shouldn't. It's been a while here since EG has won a round. In fact, they won those last rounds on... No, they didn't even win the last round on Nuke. So, it's been a while.
Well, they've got 1 on the board finally.
Yep.
It is 7-1. And, string a couple of rounds together and who knows, this could be a different game, but it needs Trace to not land AWP shot on Fraud. That's what it needs as far as you're an EG fan, and that's exactly what he's just done. So 1 down already. That'll make life harder for EG. That'll narrow their options here. Although they have boosted 1 back in the hallways. Tubby is trying to make his way back up. Oh,
good
wow!
Shot.
I tell you what, that was a brilliant shot from nothing, because Trace really should have nailed him with the AWP. Always going to be favoured in that situation, and it somehow Jordan Gilbert picks up the headshot. Brilliant. Minute remaining. 4 versus 4 here. EG maybe sensing a little chink in the MTW armour here. 3 men pushing down Banana. Or, well, they've met with Minute and Sunder. Zonic's now got another one. Tubby replied. He's got a double in there as well. And it's 2 versus 1. He's going to get this bomb planted for the extra cash. And, who knows, maybe even hold on to this bomb site. But he's got to work very hard. Sunder and Avi are the last 2 men standing here for MTW as they make their way towards this bomb site and try and retake it back. Tubby, 79 health, checks back from CT spawn. Oh, he spied them. Look at this. Lands the first one as well. Sunder got caught short there. And now Avi, look, running down, out of time here. Flash comes around the corner. Tubby's done a brilliant round. He's picked off 3 of these players already single-handedly. It needed a piece of magic, and that's exactly what they're going to get. And he nails Avi as well. A 4-man from Tubby. Welcome to the game, and EG are back in business.
And the crowd was appreciating that one as much as we were, Paul, I think. That was a great round by Tubby. And I was about to say, initially there, as he planted the bomb, he played that bomb perfectly. Circled around, managed to take one out early, make it a 1v1 where he has the advantage. So all around, well played by Tubby.
Do you not think MTW could have split themselves between the route towards the bomb rather than, both going in at the same time, same way?
It's difficult to say, but in the situation they were in, I think they made the right choice. They were just outplayed by Tubby.
7-2 right now as Zonic picks up a headshot on Tubby. Zonic going very aggressive in the back halls. I don't always see that one. Nothing's picked up 2 in a row through the walls. Avi headshot. Where did that one come from?
He's very low on health too, but that was 2 crucial headshots,
Whoa.
I think.
Sunder not landing the first one, did land the second one, should have got a double kill from that really.
Yeah,
I think he legged him on the way through, and Storm picked up the revenge frag with the Galil. So a 2 versus 2, Storm not with an awful lot of health here. Zonic, whoa, hello, that's 3 in the round, and look at this, EG just falling apart, 9 points of health for Storm. I thought they were getting back into this game, but no, Zonic has gone absolutely mental. Brilliant round from him, absolutely brilliant, perfect in every way, shape and form. You want an example of how to push hallways on this map as a CT and go aggressive with a 4-man? There's a great demo right there.
That was EG's round to lose, though, and the problem there was that the bomb obviously got dropped in the middle area there, even as they had that smaller site. So they had to go back, get the bomb, but ran into Sonic and lost because of it. Very unfortunate.
8-2 then, and AV started things off with a double. Sonic with another one. This should be a straightforward round, and it is. And it's over inside 17 seconds. We're almost vying for the world record quick round. So that's 9-2 now. EG on a bye. Just a quick score update for you. Complexity 16, Tyloo 14. That's on train. So the Brazilians, correct myself before I make a mistake, the Brazilians of Complexity, as odd as that sounds.
You've been struggling with that all weekend.
I know. Are 1-0 up. Also, Na'Vi, as you'd expect, really, first map winners on Inferno against the Spaniards, bet 4 games in their first ever quarter-final here at the WCG. Only 16-9 on Inferno, though, so the Spaniards putting up a good bit of resistance to the Ukrainians. Back to this one, though. AV and Sunday already picking things up for MTW. Oh, that was a terrible flash. What the heck was that from Frod? That was almost like I'd thrown one of those. Deary me. Ended up blinding himself off the roof.
Nobody's seeing anything now.
And, yeah, nothing. A minute. Exchange of frag apiece. Zonic, though, pops around the corner. Picks up 1. Nothing, the last man standing. Is polished off by Minute, and that'll be 10-2. Resistance, I've said about as much resistance as a sandwich.
I was going to say that EG had looked a little bit more positive here on the last 5 rounds, but then they dropped the bomb in middle, fumbled that round, and now they're just getting plowed apart by MTW players who are pushing very, very aggressively. And remember, it's kind of easy to defend yourself against players that are pushing so aggressively, but at this point in time, EG are very disillusionized with the way they're playing, and their fortunes are not changing in this round as they're all with blocks.
So 12 down, 3 to go. This one doesn't look good either. Trace has picked himself up 1, make that 2. Should have got a 3rd, really, if we're being picky, but nevertheless, we'll let him off. Avi's got himself 1 as well. There's Trace's hat-trick, thanks very much. And nothing will be the last man alive with just 3 points of health. Whoa! Thought he was going to be cheeky and pick one up from the secondary pit there on Zonic, but...
Nice try, though.
Yeah, nice little try. And that's 11-2. And really, game is slipping away from the Americans, and that man loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he loves to be on TV, too, with his, his Danish flag. Big Danish flag there. So, round 14 is underway. Have EG got anything left in the tank? If they have, they've got to start putting these last 2 rounds on the board to have... And I'm clutching at straws, I really am, to have even a remote chance of playing any part further in the World Cyber Games on home soil. I will talk about, when we get to the end of this game, the whole, the way WCG is put together and the fact that it's country-based, and should they allow maybe 1 spare player to be from a different country. We'll talk about that kind of stuff at the end of this, because I think it is appropriate to talk about that as far as a team like EG are concerned. So we'll cover that at the end. Sunder, though, has kicked things off. Trace has picked up the AWP kill on nothing. And again, it's just going like clockwork if you're a Danish fan. Nothing that EG do or try is coming off right now. It's just demolition, it really is. Only D-Born really putting up any resistance at all. It's a demolition derby right now.
Yeah, I said they had about as much resistance as a sandwich last round. I think that was a wet sandwich during the French resistance.
Final round of the half coming up, and if we're clutching at straws, EG really needs to win this one to stand a chance of staying in the game. You've given up. You've given up on them?
No, I'm not even going to go down the whole, I hope we get a game out of this, because it's just not happening. MTW are being ruthless right now as far as their efficiency and their strategy and their aiming and their positioning is concerned. They have been utterly ruthless. I don't blame them. They want to get this game done and dusted and move on to the semi-finals. And I don't blame them. EG, on the other hand, have been like a wet fish. They really haven't put anything up. And I'm disappointed for them and with them combined. There it is then, 13-2, first half score. Very disappointing if you're a USA fan, very disappointing if you're an EG fan. But, I don't know, maybe it's to be expected with the way they've got their teams lined up right now. We'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of this game. But MTW in control at the end of the first half of our second match. They look favourites, Jonas, to advance to the semi-final. And I wouldn't even have to put any... I could probably put my house on that.
Well, it's fair to say that that was flawless counter-terrorist play there by MTW. Their calls were coherent, they're playing together, they're using their nades to aid their teammates, and they were just outclassing the American team, unfortunately, for all of the fans here at the venue who showed up for this match.
They're happy, aren't they, the Danish?
They're very happy days right now.
And so they should be. 2 dominant maps out of 2. And all they need now is just a few more rounds, and they will be advancing to the World Cyber Games semi-finals here in 2010. Let's get right back into it then. MTW versus EvilGeniuses. All the marbles on the line. So first half score 13-2. Doesn't take a genius to work out, or even an evil genius to work out, that Denmark need just the pistol and then the following 2. Yeah, I made that pun.
I can't believe you did that.
I went there. Live with it. If they're not having fun, then we've got to have some fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Storm then. Oh, hello. Storm's woken up. 3 in a row from him. Is he going to get another one? No, he's not. He's going to get smacked in the face by Zonic, who came in finally to stop his little reign of terror in that banana hallway. Minute and Zonic, though, have made their way towards that bomb site, and Nothing and Fraud are now going to have to make the rotation with bomb planted now. Nothing. Well, if you want 2 players in this situation, it would be these 2. And Nothing. Fraud trying to pick off the single USP shots, doesn't want to rush in there, and instead is now going to nail one in the head. Zonic goes down. Fraud picks the frag up. Nothing gets the second, and EG do pick up the round. What do you know?
Solid round there by EG. I think they thought that it's all or nothing right now because they rushed all the way through middle, almost met up with MTW in T-spawn, exchanged a lot of frags, but in the end, Fraud and Nothing came out on top. And Minute was with very, very low health there. So that made all the difference in the world for EG. And the score now, 13-3. They need to avoid losing the save rounds here. It looks, though, as if MTW are going to be with Glocks, and that should infer buy round in the next round, I think.
Yeah, they did get that bomb down in that last round, so they will have the extra cash. And if they get another one down here, there will definitely be a buy 3rd round. And might even be one regardless. So, flashes and HEs are unleashed, and Nothing. Look at this, 1, 2, 3. D-Ball picked up one in the middle of that and stole the kill, actually. He's now got a double, and Cinder will get this one planted as the last man standing here. No, he won't. Fraud with the HE, and EG have another round in the bag. Is this just consolation rounds, or are we going to get a game on?
I think we're about to find out, because MTW are buying weapons right now, if I'm not mistaken. And, yep, they're all with AKs, etc. So if EG can take this, they at least stand a chance of a comeback. But if they lose this, it's going to be very, very, even more difficult.
It's going to be, as they say in gaming parlance, game over. Or as they say out here, curtains.
GG.
Or GG, yeah, in Korea. Whatever you want to call it, it's going to be the same thing. Zonic and Fraud then exchange a frag apiece. 4 versus 4 now. Fraud trying to nail down that balcony. Can't stand up there for long, though. Gets knocked out by Minute. And Storm and D-Born have picked themselves up a frag apiece. Avi's the last man standing. He's got a 3 versus 1 here, and he's going for it. Oh, landed 2, couldn't get the 3rd. And Nothing, fortunately, was just in the right place through that CT archway to nail him and pick up the frag. Lucky little position in there.
Yeah, I think all of the EG fans are extremely happy that Nothing was in the position he was in, because had he been in any other position on the map, it would have been a fair 1v1 situation, and the outcome might have been different.
So that's forced MTW back onto a save, and that's allowed Nothing to go mental at the top of Banana. He's picked up 2. Is this an ace? Oh, well, still could be. Now it's not. D-Born, the man alongside him, his wingman at the top of Banana. Nothing's picked up his 3rd. Make that 4. Great 4, man. And EG, maybe, just maybe, are back in business here. The next round is another crucial round. It's another MTW buy round. And that noise in the background is annoying me just as much as it's annoying you, trust me.
Some music there over at the Samsung booth.
That's loud.
Oh, well, big round, as you say, coming up here. They need to keep up that solid defense that we've seen so far. Minute is going really fast into the hallways. He's going to run into Frauds up in about a couple of seconds. No, he's holding back.
Almost sensed it, didn't he? And look at that. Zonic and Minute have picked themselves up a man of praise, and Frauds had to back away onto the balcony. And that's unfortunate because they were just about to rush along hallways. And D-Born is down in that netted site with him. Oh, double HG from Fraud. D-Bon and nothing combined, and out of nowhere, EG are going to pick up the round. No, Trace says no. He's picked up one frag. He's got a lot of work to do, too much work to do, and EG are back in this game. I don't care what you say.
Well, what do you know? That certainly looked like it was going to be another round there for MTW, but then EG came back through those amazingly well-placed nades by Fraud and his teammates, and MTW fumbled that by standing around waiting for the other teammates to move up middle, and was exposed for that rain of grenades.
13-7 then, and I have to say, Jonas, there's a good point here. At what point does it start getting in your head that you can't win any more rounds? What point do MTW start going, you know what, this is getting annoying now. We can't seem to get a round on the board. Nothing we do is working.
Well, I think we got another 7 rounds until we're getting there. Remember, this is a very, very composed championship team, and they're all veterans. So I don't think MTW is going to get stressed out if they drop a couple of more rounds. But if EG can win 7 rounds, push it to 14, then it's anyone's game.
13-7, 5-0 at the half. MTW making a 5-man walk on Banana, and possibly about to launch a massive attack into that bomb site. Here they go, blinded all the way over the top. Exchange of frags inside that bomb site. Avi's picked up the first one on D-Bomb with a headshot, and they've managed to get in here almost unopposed. Nothing's called for help. Fraud's made the rotation early and got the HE kill as well. Tubby and Storm now making their way through T-Spawn to try and join them, as Nothing's picked up another frag with the M4. He's having a great half here. 4 versus 3 is the retake on. Oh, no, it's not. Minute locks it down. Tubby finally replies back. Zonic, though, Trace in with a final kill. And MTW take a bow. Brilliant.
Wow. Great shots there by Minute. I thought actually that EG was going to be able to retake that site. Some great play there by Nothing at first. But the major issue there was D-Born getting blind in the initial attack. Nothing was unable to help him out, which really allowed MTW into the site without losing much health points.
All right, let's see whether we can get some AWP shots from Fraud. We haven't seen anything from him so far. Anything. I think 1 AWP shot last round, maybe 2 in the entire match. And now he should be, in theory, in his element. Are we going to get an inside here? I think we might well be. You know, there's 3 on carpeted walkways. There's 2 pushing second mid and about to enter top mid now.
And Storm is with an MP5, Paul. Would you play that position with an MP5?
I would, but then I'm a fool. And he's not. So that should give you every answer you need. Flashes thrown out, HE's thrown out, and smoke deployed now. Now they're going to make their way out onto that balcony. All 5 men rushing into that pit. Drops down one. Zonic has picked up the only kill. Sunder back with another. And Storm somehow has managed to stay alive and pick himself up an MP5 kill before Avi, who must have been incredulous when he walked around the corner to say, "You're standing there with an MP5? Man, sit the hell down." And he did. Bomb planted. 25 seconds remaining. Pressure now on EG. Fraud and Nothing. Locked down. And we've moved not only to map point, we've moved to match point. And they've got a lot of them. MTW on the bubble, on the verge of going through to the semi-final with, count them, 9 match points.
I do think the highlight of that round was to see the way Storm, completely blinded, ran around in that big pit. He had 2 opponents around surrounding him, but they were equally blind.
The thing is, the funniest thing is, that almost could have been a sketch show, couldn't it? I almost think there should have been an animation in 1.6 where you could hold your hands aloft and run around screaming like a girlie, because that would have been the equivalent of it right there. Oh dear. So, plenty of match points here for MTW. No problem whatsoever for them. And EG are actually on a deco, would you believe? They need to win this round to stay in the tournament, but they're on a deco. Well, they probably didn't have any choice.
Nope.
They full bought the previous round. We saw the AWPs, we saw the M4s. They had no choice whatsoever. And MTW are just going to stroll into this bomb site, lock it down, take all the players down, except they're not. Nothing and D-Bomb both take a frag apiece. And we're at 3 versus 3. If they can get a gun or 2 here, no, they won't. Trace has finished off Tubby, and I think that's it. That's the last man, surely. Fraud unleashes 7 deagle shots without landing anything. He's down to 51 health. Storm is the other man alive. In fact, Storm is the only man alive, and he's the only man that stands between MTW and a semi-final place, which is confirmed. No, it's not. Storm finally gets shut down by Trace. The crowd erupt, and Denmark have taken a brilliant victory. Easily in the end, despite some great resistance from EG in that second half. It is Denmark and MTW who advance to another semi-final in Counter-Strike 1.6.
EG definitely played a lot better there towards the end of the game, but in the end it was all too much. The mistakes made on Nuke and the initial problems there on Inferno proved too much to come back for, and like we talked about, it's very, very hard to beat MTW. They're a very, very solid team.
Yep, they'll go through then, and they are, as I said before, they're on an easier side of the group. In theory, they should end up playing either Complexity or Tai Lu in the semi-final. Now, I don't have a update from that one. We know Complexity won the first match 16-14 on Train earlier on, so we'll try and get a little score update for you, or do it yourself. Go and check out www.wcg.com for all the results and all the live streams. And if you missed this one, you can go